Hi Cancer, welcome to your August reading. So we have a lot going on in August. We have a lot of energies. So, I wrote a couple things down that I think are important, and we're just going to kind of, I think the best way to do this is just individually call out the energies so that we know what messages applies for you guys. And what I've done is kind of broke it down to the what's happening first, the major aspects in August, because if I try to explain it all, I'll just be on here forever. So we're going to have about a 30-minute reading today because everyone else's has been about 30 minutes, and I think that's a fair enough time to get these messages across if I can quit talking in the beginning of the video. Okay, so we have a full moon, Cancer. You're ruled by the moon. So we have a full moon in Aquarius on the 7th of August, and that is going to be your 8th house because it can't Aquarius is 8 houses away from Cancer. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and call on some messages for that. But we also have a Mercury retrograde going on this month, and we have a Leo eclipse going on this month, and Venus moved into your guys' sign today. Today is the 31st, the last day of August. Last day of July. And that's interesting that Venus would move into your guys' sign. Venus is the ruler of attraction and love. She's a goddess. So we're going to get some energies for that too. But we're just going to start off with what happens first. So the very first major aspect that happens next month, tomorrow is August 1st, so in August, I should say, is that full moon. So without further ado, cards, let's get some messages for Cancer. My cardinal water sign. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. Cancer, the astrology sign. Full moon on the 7th, please. Please get some messages in there for Cancer. What is this moon? What is this full moon in Aquarius? Oh, in the 8th house, which is intimacy, hidden secrets. The 8th house is actually Scorpio's house, which is another water sign. Me, a Pisces, and Cancer and Scorpio are all the water signs. So, okay, Cancer. Alright, so the first card that popped out, let's see how to do this here. Yeah, this is definitely for the Aquarius full moon. So right off the bat, the 8 of Cups. And this is no doubt Cancer. The moon is showing itself here. So this is definitely messages for that full moon on August 7th. So, whoa. Yeah, these energies are flying. And it's weird that this is happening in your 8th house because this happened for Gemini too. They're having energy in their 7th house, and they had the 7 of Pentacles. And this is the 8 of Cups, Cancer. So the numerology is telling me that the 8th house, your value, this is the cups represent value in tarot, and they represent what you have as resources, right? They're golden cups. Who knows what they're filled with, but that's what they're represented by. But the thing about this card is different from any other cup card, because in this card you can see that the man is actually walking away from his 8 of Cups. And that makes so much sense for an 8th house moon because it's a spiritual, this is a spiritual card, and the moon is a spiritual thing. And the 8th house is a spiritual house. So this energy showed itself first to you. This moon, you see this moon, and this man, he's walking away from his 8 of Cups for a spiritual journey. I remember reading about this card, one of the first cards I learned about, and it really touched me because that's kind of how I live my life. I don't really care too much for the physical material things. So this is his car, this is this man's house, this could be this man's materialistic values, money for sure, even though they're not pentacles. This could be anything of value. But what the main message of this card is that I have bigger mountains to climb as a spiritualist. Like in Cancer, you guys are very, very spiritual, even though you're a cardinal sign, so you come off more as a person of action and a person of authority. But you're the water cardinal sign. So I know that your authority and your action is based off of the emotional security that you feel. And it's based off of, how psychic you are. In spirituality, water is a very spiritual element. And you guys are the cardinal water sign. So, of course, this would be asking Cancer to take a spiritual journey. And I do feel spirit, aching for that to happen for you. There, maybe some of you Cancers may have been caught up in money, in finance, things like that, things of gold cupish value. But there's a greater spiritual journey being asked, especially with this 8 energy, right? 8 is the infinity symbol. So Cancer, there's some information waiting for you beyond this realm, and no car or physical location here would offer that to you. This is an otherworldly realm that you're being asked to visit in your mind through meditation, and this is on August 7th with this full moon. You're definitely going to be looking at the world around you, probably most likely from a spiritual aspect, because we have the 3 of Wands, which is a Trinity energy. You see this man, has stepped up on a mountain. So this is very, very interesting. I feel like this to me right now, this is seeming like, so this man took a journey at nighttime. You see how he's in red and there's mountains to be seen? Well, this card comes right after it. So it's like the next day, you see this man who's finally reached the mountains he was climbing, and this is a spiritual thing, so here you are at the top of this mountain, Cancer, around this moon, and it's going to bring in a reflection energy for you. Like I said, you are ruled by the moon, and I've always wondered this about Cancer. To be ruled by the moon, the moon always is going through phases, and the moon is always in different signs, causing different things. The moon is what you hide, the moon is subconscious and what you feel. So Cancer, no wonder you're a cardinal sign, because no other sign could handle the moon's phases. Like, if I was ruled by the moon, even though I am the moon card, I'm not ruled by the moon, though. I'm ruled by, like, Neptune and Jupiter, which is, like, thinking and spirituality. I don't think I could be ruled by something that changes so much, because I am a mutable sign, so I change a lot. So Cancer, you're ruled by the moon for a very important reason. And I believe that the moon's phases have a direct connection with you, and they directly apply to you. So you see this man leaving under a full moon. This is a crescent moon, but it's paired, and you can see the face of the moon. Like, it's very full. And like I said, this seems like the energy that happens after that journey. It's more of a light energy. You seem more grounded. And Cancer, it would take a very spiritual thing for that to happen for you. And then we have the actual Aquarius card showing up, and it's right after this moon energy, so I definitely know that this message applies to the Aquarius full moon on the 7th. And this is the Aquarius ruling card. It's the star card, and we have these stars up here representing the chakras and the spirituality, and this is you. Well, it would be Aquarius, but in this reading for you, it's just showing me that you're unique, Cancer, than the rest of us right now on this journey, because of where, like, there's an eclipse this month, and the eclipses are different than full moons. They both cause endings and new beginnings and new life cycles in life, but for the eclipse to be happening in Leo, where the North Node is, like, your moon power is really, really, really going to be, like, amped up. It's really going to change some energies around, and the star card shows itself to you. It's a very calming energy. This is a follow your intuition. This lady feels free enough to do the things that she has to do. And she's quite the multitasker, and I'm compelled to talk about the water here, because, we are water signs, Cancer. And water is very soothing and calming and spiritual. And this lady, she's pouring from both hands, right? And Cancer, that can be very you. You're very giving and very nurturing. So you're very, very healing. Like, Cancers are healers by nature. So this lady is healing this pond, and the pond represents the future, and the ground represents the past, or vice versa. But there's this balance of past and future going on, and this Aquarius energy is going to show you where you have to pour at, Cancer, because this is a water bearer moon. So I think that the Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio should pay attention to this moon, because we are water signs, and Aquarius is represented by water and air. So it's more so intellectual emotions and intellectual feelings, whereas Pisces and Cancer, we have these very, very, very spiritual and psychic feelings about things. Well, for this to be an Aquarius water bearer moon, it will affect us water signs. It'll feel like we're being poured out, but not in a bad way. You see, this lady, it's very beautiful the way she's pouring this water out. It's not wasting. She just knows that she can't pour water here without pouring it there. Like, why nourish the future without nourishing my past? She just understands. And of course, we have the Queen of Wands, which is just another spiritual energy coming up for you, Cancer. And you know, it is a there is Leo here. This is kind of a fire energy because we see the lions at the side, and this has been showing up for a few people with Leo energy. But I never ignore this little black cat down here, which is showing me that this woman is very superstitious, and she's very grounded with her magical decision making. So after this moon, you know, there is going to be, I mean, the energy seems light. There's sunflowers here. She's holding a sunflower in one hand, and she's holding this wand in the other hand. So there is decisions that you need to make, Cancer, but I feel like these are going to be invoked after this full moon. And then the next two cards, we have the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups. So there's that numerology again, Cancer. So let's focus on this card first, but I do believe these are kind of paired together. So, you know, this card already reminds me of Cancer energy because Cancer is the cardinal water sign, and this is emotions being put to action. This is emotional decisions being put to action because there's very different energies in this card. You see the very strong man, which is the action of this card, the action of Cancer. So there's things you have to do, Cancer, that are emotional, and they may have been kind of all over the place, but there's easier decision making. You see how the water is different, choppy water, kind of still water, right? And you're definitely headed to land. You're almost done with a journey, Cancer, and this card has came up for you in July. It's coming up for you again in August because this is a journey. This is a journey through August that I do believe you will reach. And there's some decisions that you've made. So on your way to and from a place, you may be, you know, caught up in the decisions that you've made, like this woman or man, because she's sad. This child and this figure here are very sad. So instead of being strong and actually doing the moving like this man is, he's gonna roll no matter what. These people have him to thank after this because he's not giving into his emotions, you know. And as a Cancer, that is so you. Pisces and Scorpio, more so Pisces, I give into my emotions a lot. Scorpio just pretends they don't have emotions, but Cancer, you push through your emotions. And that's exactly what I'm feeling with this card, is that you're pushing through emotions. And around this full moon and eclipse, emotions can be at an all-time high. There may be decisions that you regret. This is leaving something with sadness and regret, but you're definitely on your way. This moon and eclipse is going to change life no matter what, no matter if we're ready or not. So with the Six of Swords here, we have that kind of feel, right? You're leaving something. The waters are getting, your emotions are getting more stable. You know, you're almost through this emotional journey, and it might even be with someone else, Cancer. Because you have the Six of Cups with the Six of Swords. So we have a sword energy and a cup energy. And this cup card is very different from any other cup card because there's actually purity growing out of this. So I do see you becoming more pure after this. And you know, things are flourishing for you, I want to say. And this card is a soulmate card. So there may be some Cancers out there with a soulmate because this is there's a smaller figure here, and then there's a larger figure here showing the difference of ages. So it's like the past and the future, which is soulmate. You know, with a soulmate, you've signed up to be with them in the past, present, and future. So this is either that or a present and future getting along. So there might be some harmony here. But I feel like these two cards, like you might make a decision based off of a soulmate energy, or you might make a decision based off of your past, because we have that Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is a blast from the past, so we might want to move on to that, Cancer. But you know, let's see, emotional journey with someone else. Some of you Cancers may be with someone else, and it's an emotional journey about that. But for swords to turn into cups, it's like you made these decisions. It's like you made these decisions, and each one of those swords becomes, you know, a cup that is flourishing. So don't worry, Cancer. You're going to be compelled to make the right decisions. And it's like these people, just like that, the spiritual journey. Your cards are coming up like movies. So they soar, and they're rowing. And it's like here's these people again, you know, like there's three people here, And if you take a closer look, there's 3 people in this card too. It's just that, you know, he's far away. I have to shut this door so that we're not interrupted. But yeah, Cancer, there are definitely some things lining up for you. And I do want to speak a little bit about this because we have some energy here, but I'm just going to interpret this. We have the Ten of Swords, okay? So this is pain coming to an end. And then we have the Devil card. So there might have been some codependent relationships with you, Cancer. One second. Yeah, I just want to definitely discuss these cards over here because it's another deck that popped out. But it's the Ten of Swords, which is pain ending. And these are 2 very dark energies. So this Devil energy, to me, don't be afraid, Cancer. I just feel like this is ending for you. And that a lot of this subconscious energy, because the Devil is very related to the subconscious, well, this is ending for you. Because the Ten of Swords, you know, it's a very dark, scary, didn't quite make it to the water energy, which is interesting because you're a water sign. But it's okay because this man, you know, he's definitely taken out now, but he will rise again. You know, it's like the pain that you may have been feeling. And for you, Cancer, I know that it's emotional pain. It could be other pain, but I do feel like there's a definitely light being shed on emotional pain. There's emotional decisions, and of course, all this moon energy with you being ruled by the moon, definitely going to stir up some emotional energy. And there might be this is another decision energy too. This is like 10 decisions, you know, 10 decisions. That's a lot of decisions. And it can make you feel like this, but I see this more as a release, even though the Devil card is upright. So for some of you, you know, you may be with dark figures like that, and definitely don't keep that so, Cancer. But there is a fighting energy, fighting for the light, I see, because we have the Knight of Swords with the Emperor. But the Emperor is a cardinal fire energy, and that is interesting because you have Capricorn here, and you have the Emperor, so it's earth and fire energy. Some of you actually, maybe I didn't say that, but the Devil card is for Capricorn, and it's interesting because at the bottom of my deck we have Libra. So and that's so weird. For Aries, I had the same thing. So there's something going on here with the cardinal signs, because for Aries, I had all the cardinal energies too. So I wouldn't even get that hung up on the Devil card, Cancer. I like to interpret it as what it is because you never know who it may apply to. But what I'm actually being heated to say now is that these are just the cardinal energies showing up for you, because you're going to be even more cardinal now with this eclipse and this full moon and Mercury going retrograde, things like that. You're going to be even more cardinal emotion, because why else would Aries and the Devil and Justice show up? You know, but it doesn't matter because I feel such a light energy for you. Like, I feel a very celebrating energy. You know, they do call this is kind of a Leo energy, so the Sun in Leo may be very strong for you. And here are these sunflowers again. We have the sunflowers with the Queen of Wands. So yeah, we definitely have this sunshiny energy. And this is very Leo to me. And you are the cosmic child, as I was going to say. Leo are the children of the zodiac. But Cancer is the star child, you know. Interesting that you have the star and the sun coming up for you, you know. And this is very much like the actual Chariot card that is your card. Because they have the star and the moon. Not really the sun, but that's, you know what I mean. These are very universal cards. These just seem really, really, I mean, they're both naked. And they're both celebrating, you know. And this is very, really, like the horse is white. So you're actually coming from a pure area is what I'm hearing. And I heard that too once before with the cards you had with these flowers blooming out, these white flowers. Definitely felt that you were pure, Cancer. Cancer is pure. And then we have the Nine of Wands, which shows an injured man. So Cancer, don't feel bad if you are a little injured at this point in your journey, because you've been through so much. The cards show that much. There's been some hard emotional decisions that you've had to make. You felt chained. You felt like you're going through as much pain as you possibly can handle. And, you know, the Nine of Wands shows up to tell you that there's only one more battle, you know. And you do have the Queen of Wands. So I love when there's like an energy like this, like either the Queen of Wands, King of Wands, Ace of Wands with an energy like this, because I always feel compelled to put the two together. Like, as long as the Queen of Wands energy is accessible for you, then this energy, you know, and he's holding on to a wand too. So you have these energies that are wand, you know, there's a lot of, here he's holding on to a wand, and he's holding on to a wand, you know, and she's holding on to a wand. And that's a trinity going on there for you. So you have the power to make the spiritual decisions, and that's so weird, because what I always say, the difference between wands and swords is that swords are actual physical energy. You actually physically have to make a decision. But with wands, it's also energy where you make decisions, but it's more so spiritual decisions. So I feel a very spiritual energy coming up for you, Cancer. Definitely spiritual decisions, new beginnings coming, working on yourself, because we have the Fool card with the Pentacle card. And this is a new journey of you working on yourself, which would totally make sense after, you know, oh, and you do have the Ace of Wands, Cancer. And there's been this forward energy that you're waiting on, I see, because the Page of Wands is a very forward energy. But we have the Hanged Man, which is a Neptune retrograde card. So for Neptune to be retrograde, you could have been, you know, this could be spiritual waiting. So you're waiting for something, Cancer. I also feel that. But then we have these two badass cards together. You know, like the Magician card has all the suits. He has the cup, he has the pentacle, he has the sword, he has the wand. So that is amazing. And you see he's covered in light. That isn't a glare. Like this card is actually depicted this way. He is infinite. And there's that 8 again, Cancer. Like there's an infinity spiritual feeling that I feel. You are that magician. You know, you guys have all of these energies to work with, and the Magician is the Mercury card, you know. So even for Mercury going retrograde, you guys, I feel like things are going to be going everywhere, right? There's all these retrogrades and all these eclipses and things. So for the 5 of Wands, that is a very every which way is that energy. But you have the Ace of Wands to apply to that, and I was just speaking about that with this card. So that is very weird. But you have so much power, Cancer. You have this power, you know, the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands, those are so similar, you know, but you're the Ace and the Queen. Ace of Wands is spiritual power coming to you from other worlds, and it's putting that wand right in your hand. It's putting that decision making right in your hands, Cancer. But, you know, I do feel like it's more so to apply to your emotions because of this moon energy. Even the men, you know, Cancer, I'm not really sure how you feel about emotions, but the cards are definitely saying that there's going to be a new approach taken because of these journeys, you know. Definitely a lot of wand energy for you too. So there's just spiritual decisions to make, emotional decisions to make, and those are harder to me than physical decisions. You know, like physical decisions they can be hard, but emotional ones, you can't see those decisions. They're more so behind the veil. So Cancer, that may be why the 8 of Cups showed up for you, the spiritual journey, leaving energy. So we're going to go ahead and get some final messages for you. I actually want to, we have about 5 minutes. I want to get some information about the eclipse-ish and about the Venus moving into your sign today. So more so Venus, because we had that moon energy. You know, I believe the moon energy was just spiritual for you. This moon and this eclipse is just going to show you the spiritualness of it. And so Venus, of course, moving into the 4th house would definitely make sense about this. So let's see if just a few more cards want to show up for Cancer. Oh, look at Cancer. As soon as I said you're on the bottom of my deck. I love synchronicities like that. Are there any other cards that want to pop out for these last messages about Venus and Cancer? For Cancer. Definitely that one last battle coming up. That card wanted to show itself again. So alright, I was going to say, I think this is it, Cancer. So, the first card that we have is the 4 of Wands. And there is a lot of wand energy for you, Cancer. This is spiritual. So you are the 4th house, Cancer, which is the 4th house of home. And it's pretty cool that this card would show up for Venus moving into your sign, because that would mean Venus is moving into the 4th house. And this is literally, if you wanted to see how Venus in the 4th house looked, I mean, besides the Ten of Cups, I mean, this is a very good card. And the Ten of Cups, it would be cool and everything, but this one is very unique because we have the four, the 1, 2, 3, 4 wands, and you're the fourth house. And this is a love energy. This is often referred to as a wedding because you see the people partying in the background and these two people very happy throwing up the flowers in the middle. And there seems to be celebration of like this castle behind. Like this castle is their house. So for the Venus to move into your sign, Cancer, definitely be prepared to like meet up with some people. This is like wedding energy. They're at a wedding, you know, they're at a party, they're celebrating, and it's like focused on these two people though, because they're in the middle of this celebratory reef. So you and someone else, Cancer, may be coming together because of this Venus energy. For Venus to be in your sign, like when Venus comes into Pisces, I can definitely feel it. I look better, I feel better, people are more attracted to me, I'm more loving. You got to be careful though, because it can make you like buy a bunch of crap that you don't want. But for the most part, Venus is, you know, she's pretty great. She's a goddess of love. You know, she rules Taurus and Libra, rules things of beauty. You know, so Cancer, this energy for you, I would definitely, you know, and it starts today. No wonder these messages came out so clear because you know she moved into your sign today, and I definitely didn't want to forget to mention that to you. So Venus in your sign, you know, and along with those messages, I had the Hermit card pop out, which is the Virgo card. Some of you Cancers may be with a Virgo. Some of you Cancers, you know, besides this being, you might have a Virgo moon. That'd be really interesting to be a Cancer with a Virgo moon. But this Virgo energy is showing up to you. Virgos are the angel of the zodiac. And this man, you know, he always reminds me of a beautiful angel. But for the most part, this card is about solitude. So with this Venus energy, you might have a lot of people coming to you, Cancer. Might, you know, you will be more attracting with this sign coming over Cancer. Venus, I really feel like she likes to be in Cancer, even though it's a more, you know, cardinal emotional energy. She'll enjoy playing around in your sign before entering in Leo, and I think you will really feel that. So you might be wanting more solitude. This man is like in a different realm. He flew up, like I don't know where to find this man because he's not on Earth. And he's just holding his light in his hand, you know, this is his intuition. And then there's another staff in his hand. So you have a lot of staff energy, you know, a lot of wand energy. So the control, you know, this is something about figures that hold staffs. You know, they seem wise beyond their years. And that's a very Cancer energy. So yeah, that came out with the Four of Wands, you guys. And then we also have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a bold figure. He's very protected like you, Cancer. Cancers are very protected people, being the hermit crab with a shell always around you. And if I was that emotional, like if I was the emotional cardinal sign, I would want to be protected too. But I'm not. I'm the mutable sign. So I'm just a little fish with no protection at all. People hurt me a lot because of that. But you're protected, Cancer, and you know, it doesn't surprise me because of after all those energies I picked up on in the cards, you know, after learning all those spiritual journeys and learning those spiritual intuitions, going on that spiritual journey that I know most of you Cancers are going to go on, you know, you're going to come back, you know, at the end of August, you may be more so like this figure. You may be more on a bold horse, you know, he's not on a white horse, he's on a black horse, and he's holding this pinnacle. So we definitely want to relate this to our values. And honestly, Cancer, the Leo eclipse is happening in your second house. So, you know, a lot of that pinnacle energy can definitely be applied to the second house. You have a Mercury retrograde in your third and second house. So that's more so communication and your values. So your second house of money, there's going to be an eclipse there. And I'm pretty sure that's probably why this card shows up, this Pentacle card, because you're going to be learning new values for your second house to be eclipsed like this. You know, it is a sunny energy though, Cancer. So I sense, you know, light for you mostly. There's a lot of sunshiny cards, and maybe this Pentacle, finding this new job or this new money opportunity with this second house, like your second house is, you have eclipse there, so that's definitely gonna, you know, add some changes to your money. I do hope they're positive, but this seems positive, Cancer. It seems like you guys are gonna find a new opportunity and maybe be able to apply that to you and your relationships, you and your friendships, you and where you live, your home. Very important for you, Cancer. And if it's getting too overwhelming, please escape. You know, you are a water sign, so you can escape through your emotions and through your feelings and through your subconscious. You know, you're very spiritual. So if you need to take some time to be more like this figure with no one around, because this is going to be exciting for you, Cancer. I see a lot of people coming to you. You know, a lot of people are going to gather and flock around you because of this Venus energy. And this card did come out for Venus energy. So just be careful of that, Cancer. Because at the bottom of my deck, even though we do have the sun under this card was at the bottom of my deck. You know, this is the Five of Swords. And this guy takes a lot. So just beware of this energy showing itself, Cancer. I definitely don't want you to feel like these people, you know, look at the water, which is you. They're left alone with their emotions. They're left alone with their emotions with their back turned to the world because of a mean figure that kept taking everything from them. But, you know, even Spirit wants to remind you that under that card was the Sun card. So Leo season, you know, it's really going to light up some things for you. This eclipse is going to light up some things for you. And I wouldn't worry too much, Cancer. You know, we all lose and we all gain and stuff like that. And mostly if we just focus on our own personal journey, you know, and it's going to be more important to do that around this time when everything's changing, because that's the card that I just got a glimpse of. So, you know, we're all being called to do greater things. And this is the High Priestess, and you guys are known as the priestesses. You know, you guys are the priestess. You guys are the priest. So you guys understand spirituality and intuition. You know, I love Cancer. I really do. In that Venus energy. This is Venus energy coming in for you. So this is Spirit. Before this video, I end this video, it's really that Venus energy coming in for you today that's going to change some things. With this new energy, Venus just lights up everything she touches. So this is coming in first for you. Venus coming in today, and then around the 7th there's going to be a full moon, and you know, that's going to be your 8th house, showing you more about the darkness, things like that. That could be a little bit where that devil energy and that 10 of swords is coming from, but it's okay, Cancer. I'd rather find it out than, you know, that stuff still be in me and using me and draining my energy. So there's going to be a lot of darkness released for you. And, you know, that Mercury retrograde is going to change some things about your finances and the way that you talk about your finances, the way you communicate with others. And then there's that Leo eclipse in your 2nd house on the 21st. And then, you know, it'll be a Virgo season shortly after that. And that's a whole different story. Who knows what Virgo season is going to bring? Probably something logical. But yeah, Cancer, I really hope you have a great month of August. Feel free to give me comments, guys, if this related to you, if you weren't sure about what a card meant. Because like I said, there's just so much stuff going on that I try my best to explain the cards, but it doesn't get overwhelming. It just, you know, I just want to more so get the messages out for you guys. So please, I don't charge for tarot readings. You can hit me up on Facebook, Braylon Janae Caldwell. Hit me up, Pisces Priestess, on Instagram or Twitter. And I would love to pull some additional cards for you guys, like for individuals of you, because I don't mind at all. I just want you guys to understand the messages coming from the universe that I'm able to pick up on. So if you have any questions, or if you just need extra guidance or anything like that, feel free to comment below or message me on Facebook, Twitter, anything like that. I'm always on social media, so I'm sure I'll get the message. So I wish you guys a really awesome and emotionally fulfilling August, and we'll talk more in September.